A massive and slightly mouldy update, part 2, tapes, part 2. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hey, welcome back. So here's part 2 of the massive update. I'm probably going to make this about 3 parts. I forgot to show this briefly. I forgot to show this in the first part, but I got also found in the garage another ZX Spectrum game to add to the collection. This is Pedro. Never played this before. My Spectrum doesn't work, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to download a ROM, and use an emulator. But yeah, this game is from 1984. For some reason, a couple of years ago, many years ago, I got some of the ZX Spectrum games out of the garage, and surprisingly they weren't mouldy. It was only the video cassettes that were mouldy. But yeah, this tape is also clean, although it still has that slightly musty sort of garage sort of smell, and the VHS cassettes don't really smell like that anymore because I cleaned them. There's cleaned the outside as well, some IPA, and that got rid of the smell. So now we'll move on to the main attraction, the video cassettes. So the first one is Peter Kay's Phoenix Nights, the complete first series. This is a 2002 release by VCI. A great series this. I've only ever seen the first series, and they don't repeat it that often, in fact if ever. I believe Peter Kay said something like he didn't want it to be like Only Fools and Horses where it's overplayed, but this is a great series from my impressions of the first series. Here's the tape. The print date is the 15th of November 2002. Next up is King Kong Ain't Got Shit on Me, Training Day, with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke. Best actor Denzel Washington. This is a great film. This really great sort of thriller, and Denzel Washington's performance, he's absolutely insane if you've seen the film. But yeah, very good film. This tape is from 2001, and the tape's from 2002. Here's the tape. And the print date is the 11th of October 2003. So slightly later pressing. And the trailer reel is very long on this, like it takes the piss. It's nearly 12 minutes. I believe it's almost like a rental tape. You get that with a lot of sort of newish sort of cassettes. They get really long trailers. Sorry about that. It's just some inconsiderate people outside. Next one is Ocean's 11 with George Clooney, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia, Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts. This is another Warner release from 2002, the film's from 2001. This is the George Clooney remake. This is a remake of a 1960s film with the Rat Pack, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, not Fred Astaire. But yeah, this is a great film. I've never seen the original. Apparently I've heard this is an improvement. I've heard the original's quite boring, but this is very good. And I believe none of the sequels sort of held up to it. Here's the tape. Print date is the 12th of September 2002. Now move on to some comedy titles. So the first one we have is You Dirty Old Man. The very best of Steptoe and Son, the world's most famous rag and bone men in 5 classic episodes. This is on BBC Video, released in 1993. This includes the episodes Upstairs, Downstairs, Upstairs, Downstairs, The Bath, Porn Yesterday, Sense in a Wet Rag and Boneyard with Patricia Routledge. The book here is translated in the house speaking. Sheridan, how nice of you to call your mummy. What's that? You want some silk pyjamas? And So to Bed, and that's the waterbed episode. Can't wait to watch this. But yeah, I've never actually seen a full episode of Steptoe and Son. It's one of those sitcoms that really doesn't interest me, but you know, I'll give it a go and I might like it. Here's the tape. Print date is the 19th of November 1993. And inside we have adverts for other BBC comedy titles. And also it comes in a BBC embossed case. You can't see it, but it's there. Then we have Last of the Summer Wine, Spring Fever, 3 early episodes from the popular comedy series with Michael Bates, Bill Owen and Peter Sellers. I've never actually seen an episode of Last of the Summer Wine. I mean, I think it is the longest running British sitcom because it ran from 1973 to 2010, I think. So it was on TV for a bloody long time. How often they were shitting out episodes. I've never actually sat for an episode, so I'll watch this video and then I'll see what I make of them. But this includes the episodes Spring Fever, The New Mobile Trio, and Hail, Smiling, Morn or Thereabouts. This tape is from 1991. Initially I thought this would have had the Globe logo at the start, but it doesn't. It has that BBC logo at the start. But here we have the tape. This is a much later printing. This is from the 2nd of July 1997. And inside we have the same BBC comedy promo in the same embossed case. Next up we have Only Fools and Horses, the Jolly Boys outing. Look Out Margate, Here Come the Trotters, the special feature-length film. This was released in 1994. Well, the special is from 89, I think. It should say somewhere on the back. Yeah, 1989. It's the 1989 Christmas special. I'm gonna have a few hot takes on Only Fools and Horses. It's good from what I've seen of the episodes I've watched. It's not my favourite sitcom. There's other ones I prefer. I'm more of a Red Dwarf man personally. But the problem with it is it's overplayed. I think a lot of people will agree with me. You know, there's a channel in the UK called Gold, which is supposedly a channel for British comedy, and all it is Only Fools and Horses on loop. You know, people joke about Dave being the Top Gear channel. Gold is the Only Fools and Horses channel. You know, it's a miracle when they show something that isn't Only Fools and Horses. And they've always got an excuse to show a marathon, like, I don't know, David Jason took a shit in the middle of the road last week. Let's air a marathon. It's ridiculous. And you do kind of get sick of it after a while, especially when it's the same clips over and over again. Like, there's only so many times you can see Del Boy fall through that bar before it stops being funny, you know. And also its fan base as well. Like, I swear to God, I mean, I've heard like what the fans' behaviour on Twitter and stuff. It's horrible. It's just like, you know, like they treat Only Fools and Horses like it's the be all and end all, like the best thing ever committed to television. And if you disagree, you're an idiot, and you shouldn't be allowed to have an opinion. You shouldn't be allowed to have comedy. You're a miserable stuck-up twat if you say if you say it's not the best thing since sliced bread. It's just fuck off, okay? Just fuck off. Let people have their opinion. Anyway, here's the tape. This is a much later printing. This is printed on the 13th of November 2001. And inside we have adverts for other BBC comedy stuff. Much better comedy series in my opinion, League of Gentlemen, as is Faulty Towers. Next one is, it's a great show, isn't it, Ted? He's mad, isn't he, Ted? I don't believe it, that's what he said. One Foot in the Grave. A lot of people aren't keen on One Foot in the Grave. I think it's okay. I think it's good fun. It wouldn't say it's my favourite sitcom, but you know, from the episodes I've seen, it's really quite enjoyable. It's really good fun. Of course, never ever say I don't believe it in front of Richard Wilson. If you've seen that episode of Father Ted. But this is One Foot in the Grave. This is in Luton Airport, no one can hear you scream, with We Have to Put Her Living in the Tomb and Dramatic Fever. This is originally released in 1992, but this is reissued under the Right Price Comedy range. This is a reissue from 1996. I have a few One Foot in the Grave videos, so you know it's good to have a set. Here's the tape. The print date is the 18th of June 1998, although the date screen at the start said something 1994, so yeah. And this time we have it for other One Foot in the Grave videos. Next up we have Dances with Wolves, starring Kevin Costner, released on Pathé. This is a widescreen tape. For some reason, you know, it only seems to. In fact, I didn't even know this was widescreen until I took this cassette out, and it said widescreen on the label. Yeah, but a film which I've heard is very good, but it also kind of has its detractors as well. Has just as many fans as it does detractors, but still I'm going to give it a go at some point. For some reason it has a security protective thing on the back for some reason. This tape is from 2001. Here's the tape. No print date, comes on E190 stock. Next up is Genevieve. This is from Rank Video under the Rank Classic Collection. It's a 1950s film which is kind of a British staple, you know, around like the summertime, like on Sundays, you know, they always show this film on TV, and yet for some reason I've never heard of it, you know, until I got this tape. I've seen it. It's a very enjoyable film. It's a very good film, very good fun. It's, you know, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very light-hearted. You know, if you need a good feel-good film, then I'd recommend this. But yeah, this tape doesn't have a date on it again, but I figured out it's from 1990, I think. That was when the BBFC classified it. Here's the tape. No print date. Next up we have A Gentleman's Relish, starring Billy Connolly, Sarah Lancashire and Douglas Hensel. Yeah, I've never heard of this either. It's sort of period sort of costume drama. I know Billy Connolly, like, he's generally more known for his dramatic roles, you know, because, you know, he's well known as a comedian, and yet, you know, his acting, he's more known for his serious roles. He's not really a comedic actor. He's not like Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams, you know, who did a lot of comedy films as well as stand up. Yeah, this is from 2001. Released by the BBC. Here's the tape. Print date is the 8th of March 2001 with some really bad off-centre printing. And inside with adverts for other BBC drama titles. And then we have basically a small set of Batman films. So we have Batman with this is the 1989 film with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. This is my favourite Batman film. It always will be. I don't care what anyone else says. This is a lot better than The Dark Knight. I can't stand that film, but this film's great. This is released in 1997. I think this was released to sort of coincide with Batman and Robin, I think. Here's the tape. Print date is the 5th of November 2003, so this is not close to printing. Batman Returns, which I need to watch again. I remember kind of thinking it kind of gets worse and worse the more times you watch it, but still, you know, it's interesting watch. The villains are great in it. Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer is the best Catwoman, and Danny DeVito is the best Penguin. Likewise, Michael Keaton is the best Batman. Well, saying that, you know, I've got a massive soft spot for Adam West. But yeah, this is also released in 1997. This one uses a slightly earlier tape master than the first Batman. The first Batman film was that Warner Brothers logo at the start, whereas this one starts with the cheesy Shield logo. Here's the tape. And the print date is the 24th of April 2002. And then we have another really good find. This is Batman Forever. A guilty pleasure of mine, but it's a film I haven't watched in years. So I kind of fear if I watched it again, I'd probably realise just how crap it actually is and join the hate train. But I do remember really enjoying it. It's good fun for what it is. It doesn't take itself too seriously. This kind of is still a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a really bad film, but I can't help but enjoy it. One of the greatest movies ever made, according to Jonathan Ross. Apparently, that quote isn't actually real. It was like a dare by Jonathan Ross's brother, I think, something like that, from what I've heard. You know, to sort of take the piss, and it doesn't even have a description. I just find it so funny, like when they just don't even have a description for the film. They just stick a review quote on the back and think, there, that's it. But what's interesting is the tape is still sealed. Print date is it's the 18th of November 1995. And on the back we have an advert for the Batman Forever game, which apparently I've heard is absolutely atrocious. Basically just using Mortal Kombat mechanics. Here's the inside, advertising of the Batman videos. So that's an interesting find. I'm never going to unseal it, on the account that, you know, it's quite rare to get sealed tapes, and also this version of the film is very heavily cut. The Blu-ray I've got is uncut, so if I wanted to watch the film again, I'd probably watch it on Blu-ray. But yeah. Next one we have is a double set. This is Snatch and a Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, released by Columbia TriStar and Universal, I believe during the early 2000s or something. Universal and Columbia kind of had a deal, you know, and they'd release a lot of their films. Yeah, they're not great films. I probably would have preferred Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, but they're good fun. They're what they are. They're pretty enjoyable thrillers. Here's the tape. No print date. And it comes with a receipt, which unfortunately I ruined. This is an old Asda receipt from the 29th of August 2003, and my granddad bought this for £14.97 back in 2003. It didn't look like this when I found it. What I did was, because I was cleaning out the cases as well with IPA, you know, to get rid of any mould spores, I decided to clean the receipt, and unfortunately receipts and IPA don't mix well together. They're not like the video sleeves, where the video sleeves are normally quite fine, you know, with IPA on them. Next one is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is on the video collection, released in, this tape's from 1985, well, I think this is a slightly later pressing. This is the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There's like 5 billion remakes, and I believe the only remake which is actually worth watching is the 70s version. But yeah, I probably won't watch the VHS version of this because it suffered from some really quite nasty mould, and it was a really bugger to get off, and the tape got a bit damaged. So it's probably fine to run for a VCR, but I don't know, I don't overly, but you know, I don't particularly want to play it. You know, I don't think I'd be able to watch the film like this. You know, I'd probably get it on Blu-ray actually. Here's the tape. Label's gone a bit shitty with the fact that obviously it's been in a damp garage. So yeah, there's the sticker. And I've got all the mould off, you know, so at least then it's safe to run for a VCR. Comes in a video collection embossed case, which is more common than one with the smaller video collection logo. So this suggests to me that it's a much later pressing. And also this is the only video collection title I've got that actually has the old video collection logo on it. The ones I've got are ones which have the slightly later logo, which is, you know, the one with the TV thing that spins around at the start. Okay, so the next bunch are a bunch of Billy Connolly videos. Now, I'm not overly familiar with Billy Connolly's work. He's like considered one of the most iconic comedians, one of the best ones. Ignore the noise outside, by the way. But anyway, I've got a load of Billy Connolly videos, which I'll probably watch at some point. So the first one we have is, I'm going to try and do these in chronological order. So we have an audience with Billy Connolly. This is recorded from LWT, absolutely hilarious. This is on Cinema Club, released in 2002. Here's the tape. The print date is... does it have a print date? No, it doesn't have a print date. I thought it did. I don't know, at least no sort of print date that I can make out. Then we have another audience of Billy Connolly. This one's much older. These are both the 85 versions of the audience of Billy Connolly, which was shown on ITV back in 85, and the one on here is the Cinema Club version. It's about an hour, just under an hour, and this one is an hour and a half. So I don't know, maybe this is the version that was shown on TV and this was the one which, an extended version. But yeah, this is a much older tape. This is from 1989. This by Virgin. Here's the tape. This side in, like, fuck's sake, Virgin, we're not stupid. You know, we know how to put a video cassette in beside it. Sticking that on there is redundant because it already says on the lid, put it in this way. And also, there's only one way it can go. You can't put a tape in a VCR any other way. If you try to put it the wrong way, it won't go in. And that's simple as. Anyway, here's the case. It again has a date stamp in the plastic. This one is of August 1989. So yeah, it's quite early pressing. Then we have Billy and Billy Connolly at the Royal Albert Hall. Warning: this video contains material that some people may find offensive. But yeah, this tape is from 1987. Yeah, 1987. But the tape is actually a slightly later pressing, and you can tell. Here's the tape. Again, deciding because he's stupid, and it actually has another date stamp in there of let's see, I think that's January or February 1990. So yeah, 1990. Comes in a Virgin box. So and what's nice about this one is it doesn't have the little things that poke out of the box, so it's easy to get the cassette in. I struggle with the ones which have the little things poking out. Billy Connolly live from the Hammersmith, London. This is from Virgin Comedy Club. This is from 1991. Here's the tape. On the side we have adverts for other Virgin Comedy Club titles, including Billy and Albert and is it Billy Connolly Live? Billy Connolly Live 1994. Released by VVL. Absolutely appalling cover, like it's dead out of focus and everything. You can't really see it on camera, but it looks absolutely terrible. This tape's from 1994. Here's the tape. Print date. I had all those Billy Connolly videos. That one, best of 25 years of Billy Connolly, was in the garage. However, the tape was quite badly damaged. It wasn't fully rewound. And what happens is when you got a tape that is mouldy, usually the mould is often confined to the top and bottom edges. So as a result, it doesn't really touch the tape. It only tends to touch the tape, where it's round to, which in some regards is usually right at the start. So you have to remove that bit of moulding off the surface of the tape before you can clean it. And that video was about halfway through, and it had a quite nasty bit stuck to it. And if it was rewound, then I could have just cut that bit of the tape off and then spliced it back onto the leader, and then I'd lose nothing, maybe a bit of the black screen. But because it was in the middle, there was nothing I could do about it. And I tried to get it off, and I tried to play it, and the VCR just stopped in my VCR, at that part. So I just thought it just wasn't worth saving. I just thought I couldn't save it, so I had to chuck it away. I'll see if maybe one day I could track down another copy of it. I'll see, maybe someday I'll see if I can get the rest of the Billy Connolly videos. I don't know, I'll watch these ones and see what I make of it. Billy Connolly Live 1999, One Night Stand Down Under, and The Best of the Rest. This was released by Universal and VVL. Here's the tape. And then we have the two World Tour videos. So we have Billy Connolly, 2 Bites of Billy, his complete BBC One TV series, World Tour Scotland, plus Billy live at the Usher Hall, Edinburgh. Released by VVL in 1995. There's the World Tour Scotland video, which was a double video set. This one, they squeezed the whole thing onto a single cassette. Yeah, you see just how much tape is used on there. It's quite a heavy cassette as well. I've not tested it yet. In fact, some of these I've not tested yet, so I don't even know if they work. But I cleaned this one a couple of times because I got some gunk off it, tape. But it's fine now, so it's safe to run for a VCR, as far as I can tell. And then we have the World Tour of England, Ireland and Wales. This is the follow-up to the World Tour Scotland, released by VVL in 2002. Quite big, it's a double video set, which comes in this cardboard packaging. I had another video, which was The Perfect Storm, which came in identical packaging, and unfortunately that met the same fate as the 25 Years of Billy Connolly video. That was one of the ones that couldn't be salvaged, which I mean is a shame, but you know, my granddad's got the DVD and I could probably get the DVD or the Blu-ray for cheap, so you know, it's not really a big deal. You know, there weren't really big losses, a lot of these, they're just sell-throughs. Most people would have just thrown them out, but I don't know, my really bad hoarder's mentality, and I just felt ashamed, you know, to get rid of them, especially considering how mild a lot of them were with mould. You know, a lot of them were dead easy to clean. But yeah, here's the tape. Here's tape 1. It's quite tough. Tape 2. And I put the silica gel at the bottom. And then finally for this part we've got 2 box sets. So the first one is this is a free VHS box set with The Thomas Crown Affair, Ransom and Copland. So yeah, all 3 very good films. These tapes were in slightly rough condition. I think Thomas Crown Affair in particular was quite nasty. And surprisingly, it's not because they had tons of mould. The mould itself was actually pretty mild. But some of these, like, some of the mould might have gone to the tape itself. And I had to manually clean a lot of these ones so I could get all the mould off. And you can kind of tell the damage. But, you know, they're not... But, you know, to be honest, there's like some parts of it where you get really bad dropouts, but it's still fine. I'm going to clean out my... I didn't use my main VCR, I used another VCR to watch them on, which I'll probably clean out later. So we have The Thomas Crown Affair on MGM. So this is the Pierce Brosnan remake. There was an earlier version of this made in the 60s, starring Steve McQueen. I've heard this is better from some people, but you know, it's a very good film. This really entertaining thriller. Here's the tape. No print date. The problem I had with this tape was right near the bottom edge, you could see like black marks, you know, across like a good section of the tape. I've cleaned those off, you know, and I've cleaned the tape as best as I can, you know, using the manual cleaning method, because there's no way in hell I'd be able to get it cleaned using the VCR method. And it does the trick. I've noticed it's not contaminated the machine, but I think it's damaged the tape, because you can still see, because it's still got some quite bad dropouts and quite bad picture distortion. a lot of it. It's more just dropouts, if anything else. Ransom, which is a remake of a 1950s film. This stars Mel Gibson. Great film, great thriller. I really like Mel Gibson as an actor. Shame he turned out to be such a twat in real life. Yeah. This is the first tape I ever actually cleaned, believe it or not. And I still had to give it a couple of more passes and had to manually clean it to remove a tiny bit of like sort of mould that was like near the middle or something. But you know, it's cleaned, and save for a few really kind of bad bits for dropout, you know, during like small parts of the film, it's okay. I probably won't watch the tape again. But yeah, the print date is the 27th of August 2002. Then we have the one which is probably in the best condition out of the box. Copland with Sylvester Stallone, Harvey Keitel, the late great Ray Liotta and Robert De Niro. No One Is Above the Law. Yeah, this is another very good film. Probably my least favourite of the ones out of the set, but it's still very good. It's sort of very subdued, you know, especially for Sylvester Stallone. Copland, print date is the 1st of September 2002, and the sticker, I really need to glue the sticker back on. But yeah, you can see like where I've cut it, you know, because you have to will take a disassemble the sets to clean them properly. And then the final box set we've got is this. This is a free video set of gift set of Minority Report, Planet of the Apes and the Abyss Special Edition. This was probably the newest sort of cassette sort of out of the lot. This is from 2003, released by 20th Century Fox. I've never seen any of these films before, so yeah, I can't wait to give them a go. Comes in this type of packaging, which I don't like. I prefer the other type of packaging. So here we have the tapes. So here we have Minority Report with Tom Cruise. I've heard it's a very good film. There was an episode of Futurama that parodied it, so you know, not for individual sale apparently. Here's the tape. For some reason, despite the fact that these three tapes were, you know, closely packaged together, these two had no mould whatsoever. This one had a bit of mould, like some, what I consider somewhat nasty mould, like right there. But you know, I was able to clean that off, and you know, it plays fine. So you know, what am I to complain? And also, this one has the regular sort of white and clear reels, whereas the other two have black reels. Planet of the Apes. This is the this is, from what I understand, that god awful remake done by Tim Burton. I've never seen the original, believe it or not. Never seen the original. Never seen the remake. Never seen any other version. Never seen any version of Planet of the Apes. I'll probably watch the original version first, you know, before I watch this. I've heard this one was absolutely dreadful. I mean, Tim Burton's not great at doing remakes, because I mean, like, his versions of his versions of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Alice in Wonderland are absolute cack. So I'm not looking forward to this film. Here's the tape. It comes with the black tape reels and had absolutely no signs of mould whatsoever. You know, I couldn't see anything even on the cleaning tool. I couldn't get any gunk off of it, so the tape is fine and it should hopefully play well. Not played it yet, so I don't know. And then finally we have The Abyss. This is the special edition version. An extended version includes documentary, Under Pressure, the making of The Abyss. I forgot to mention Minority Report has some special features on it, as from story to screen, the players, the stunts of Minority Report, the Other Pack Chase and Car Factory, and ILM and Minority Report and Introduction. Planet of the Apes doesn't have any special features, just the film. Yeah. This film I've heard is quite flawed. It's not one of Jim Cameron's better films, but I've heard it's still pretty good. There is no Blu-ray out of this in any part of the world officially. I believe HD copies do exist on like Disney Plus and stuff, and I believe the DVD is absolutely shite as well. It's from what I understand a Laserdisc transfer, so it's not anamorphic and has some quite bad picture quality, a bit like the gout editions of Star Wars in a way. This includes special extended version, approximately 24 minutes of additional footage, and documentary Under Pressure, the making of The Abyss. Yeah. Here we have the tape, which unlike the other two just has a bland 20th Century Fox label. No print date. Black reels, I think. The tape was a bit damaged before I cleaned it, because there was quite bad pop strands, and the pop strands, the top edge of the tape got a bit damaged in some parts, but I think because I've cleaned it and because I've wound and fast forwarded it in the gash machine, it's managed to deal with those pop strands. So the tape is nice and flat, the pancake is rather. So yeah, that is it. That is nearly everything. So tune into part 3, the finale, where I'm going to show off the tapes which I probably won't be keeping in my collection. So till next time, so long for now.